You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the #1 growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always, your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the woman of many nicknames. She is the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany. And today, Tiff, guess what?
What?
We're joined by a third.
Really?
Yes, we're having guests.
Are you sure?
This is like guest month here in February because we have a couple lined up for Revolution 2. But joining us today is Maria Rose. How is it going, Maria?
It's going good.
Say
How are
hi
you?
to our podcast listeners.
Hello, everyone.
So, guys, if you don't know and you're not following Maria, please go follow her. I've put her Twitter handle down in the description of the YouTube version of this podcast, so make sure you go give her a follow. She is probably the biggest MJF fan you're ever going to meet.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe one of them. Next to his scarf. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know,
MJF
like,
scarf. That guy.
Is there going to be like a belt or something like that that's out there that's between you two? Or are you going to like fight for his love or something?
Yeah. Me and his scarf.
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm gonna win over the scarf?
I don't know.
His prized possession?
Yikes.
I don't know.
I'm not putting my money on that. I'm sorry. I just me, but I'm gonna go with Scarfy there. He's
I have to go with scarf too.
Wow.
And shout out to him. He's a big fan of our podcast. And he's awesome. He always sends us stuff. I'm always talking to him in the DMs. He's pretty
peeps.
crazy. Yeah, he's good peeps. But guys, if you're new, welcome to the All Elite Podcast. It's usually where myself and Tiff, but today we're joined by a guest. We talk about everything in that AEW world, from BTE to Dark to anything that's happening in AEW, and especially AEW Dynamite. We like to have fun and positive discussions here and go pretty in depth. So if you guys are in the live chats, whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, make sure you're interacting with everybody in there. We like to keep it fun, we like to keep it positive, so welcome to the podcast. And today, again, we have a third to kind of play off of here today, and yeah, it's been another, like I said it last week's on last week's episode, it was a, God, what's Tiff? Tiff, do you have an intro song? Do you want me to let you play your theme song here? What's going on?
Sorry.
Are you trying to introduce yourself to a theme song? What's happening? We have a guest here.
I'm sorry sorry, okay? Like, with the new computer and everything, I'm trying to log in on one computer, everything, so we can chat with everybody. And like, sorry.
The new computer excuse.
The new computer.
Get some music too.
My bad. Continue, Kyle.
I don't even know where I was. AEW, probably something to do with that since we are an AEW podcast.
Is it an AEW podcast?
I don't know. Could be.
I hope so, because if it's any other one, I shouldn't be on it.
I thought it was the MJF podcast.
Oh, no,
Fair.
I don't know. Sign me out.
Okay, cool.
Anywho, Rihu. Again, like I said before, we're live. If you're in the chat, interact with everybody in the chat. Hello to all the peeps in the chat. I see Bert. I see our girl. I was going to say
April.
beating faces, but April. I read her name out. Our well-known fan, Kilroy. Conrad from Everything's Pro Wrestling Podcast. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching back on YouTube, thank you for watching back. If you are one of our many download audio listeners, thank you for downloading the episode. And if you guys don't know, we are available on audio platforms here on the network, which the All Elite Podcast is a part of, and that is the No Holds Barred Network. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, bunch of other ones, stuff like Anchor, Castbox, wherever you're getting your podcast. Make sure you search up the No Holds Barred Network. You will get the All Elite Podcast, and you'll get all the amazing other podcasts, ones that Tiffany does. She does a lot of independent wrestling interviews. She does Indie Talks, where she just talks about the independent shows she goes to, anything happening in the independent scene. She also has Wrestle Forum, which normally that's where we have like the third rotating guest, and we kind of talk about them. But, today we have Maria joining us talking about AEW mostly. So go check that out. Make sure you are checking out the audio platforms. If you are an Apple Podcast listener, make sure you're giving us a generous 5-star rating. You leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of the podcast. It helps us in the chartable side of things. And lastly, but certainly not least, our buddy Darren from This Wolf with the song Dead to Me is our official theme song you heard in the intro to this podcast. He lets us use that song each and every single week. Darren, you are amazing. You're doing great work with Go Pro Wrestling right now. Keep up the good work, and thank you for letting us use that song. It is an amazing song, guys. Go check out Darren and support his music. Very, very underrated artist when it comes to a lot of songs. He actually does the cover to MJF's theme, which I tagged Maria in. Maria, did you have a chance to listen to that?
I did. It's awesome.
It's insane. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what came of it, but apparently he was reached out to by MJF. So let's just keep it at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Keep that song in the back of your head. You might be hearing it in another day. So
I think you should make that your ringtone.
Who, me or Kyle?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
Ringtones. Oh, man. Do you remember back in the day when like ringtones were like the most expensive thing in the world?
Some of them still are, though. Like sometimes you gotta like download it. Like I get mad.
Don't buy ringtones. You can't. You're not this day and age. You can't. There's so many ways to get free ringtones. There's no way people are buying.
A thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing that like some of them you have to like pay to make a ringtone.
Stop.
I swear.
I would unsubscribe, Tiff, man. If that's you.
I don't have it. Okay? I have like best friends played on mine. Okay, like.
Oh, mine's Kenny Omega, obviously. Duh.
Better than you.
Okay. I see how this podcast is gonna go.
Oh yeah.
No.
Anywho, Rihu, let's get it. Let's dive into some AW. So around the AW world, we'll start off with that like we always do. Really not much. BT will kind of just briefly go over because Maria didn't catch this a week's episode, but Maria, I suggest you go back and watch it because the part with the Valentine's Day cards with the Dark Order was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. So they're all in the Dark Order room, which is it's that one room if you're looking towards the crowd in the Daily's place, all the way to the right, like that door where Sting and Darby came out of that one episode of Dynamite. So that room right there is actually the Dark Order's room in BTE. So it's like a little like lounge area. So that they're all in there making Valentine's Day cards and and they're reading them out. So Stu Grayson, they didn't reveal who it was for, but Stu Grayson read his out. He put, "You push hard, you pull hard, you are hard, and so am I."
What?
Yeah. And everyone thought it was like the best thing. They're like comparing to like the greatest writers of all time. And then Evil Uno said he's got to read his.
Poetry emotion.
And his was, "You've got some juicy thighs. Will you be my Valentine?"
Who was that for?
So you don't find out until later in the episode. And then they're all making fun of Five because his was so lame. And they always make fun of Five on BT. It's a thing. So later on, they're all ready to go hand it out. And in the back of your head, you're thinking it's Anna because Anna wasn't there in the beginning. So Anna shows up and they're all staring at Anna and they're like, "Anna, get the fuck out of the way." And they push her out of the way. And Wardlow is standing there out of all people. And they all one at a time hand the cards out and he's all thanking them. And they're all like blushing and like being like shy little kids.
That's great.
I mean, Wardlow is a good-looking guy. Like,
Oh, yes,
I don't blame him. You know,
He's all right. He's like, I think I'm like 5.
No, he's
not my
good
type.
looking.
listen. I think what was it, one of the episodes? I swear to God, from the back, it looked. No, it was I think an episode of Dynamite. I was like, it looks like Marty Skrull from the back.
Oh, he's
because
got
of,
like that haircut. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
hair,
man
yeah.
bun.
man bun, and then the little coat that was going on. That
See,
he
I
was
can't grow a
wearing.
man bun because I got nothing up top, so like that doesn't concern me. But you know what? I never heard him talk before. He talked in this,
Yeah,
and he sounds. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna compare it. He sounds exactly like Roman Reigns, like literally doppelganger voice. Like
Does
they
he?
sound exactly. If you go back and watch and you listen to him talk, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, I hear it. And I wonder if you guys in the chat let us know because I heard Roman when he was talking. But so Five tries to give it to Wardlow, and Wardlow's like, where's my card? And Five's like, you're not my type. So it's actually for Hangman. So he tried to give it to Hangman. There's a skit where he in on BT was trying to give it to Hangman, and Hangman says like, no man, you guys don't need me in the Dark Order. I'm not. You guys don't need me. You guys are doing fine on your own. So then he leaves the card for Hangman, and they're doing this whole skit. You've seen on Dynamite with Matt Hardy and Hangman. But the skit on BT between those two is like Matt Hardy's like in love with Hangman, and Matt Hardy finds the Valentine's Day card on Hangman's chair.
Yep. And then rips
Does
it up.
he get angry?
Yeah,
I was
he
about
rips
to
it up.
say.
Right, rips it up. I like the part though where what's it called? Anna gave Stu the Valentine's card.
Oh yeah.
So like, is that like eventually going to happen? Is like Anna and Stu
Yeah,
gonna
that's
like
the thing too on BT. Like Anna is so mean to Stu Grayson all the time.
yeah. So I'm wondering if like that's gonna be the end goal. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, she's dating 10, so
Well,
we'll see.
we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
But it's a whole storyline. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
if you
kind
didn't know
of
that,
sad.
Maria,
I didn't
real
get a
life, they're
Valentine's
dating.
Day. I'm kind of sad. I didn't get a Valentine's Day card from Dark Order. I feel attacked.
Aw.
You?
Maria didn't get one from MJF. I'm sure she
Um,
feels attacked.
Does he
I
even,
wonder what it would say.
Does he even give out cards?
Jump off a cliff, please.
Maria, let me tell you though, because you're like the biggest MJF fan, and when I used to watch him in the Indies before he got signed with AEW when he was like 18 years old, and I used to heckle the shit out of him at like the SWA shows and shit like that. Like it was funny. So the shit I would give him.
Did he give it right back to you?
Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course.
Wait,
he
you
did.
were at the show with the kid, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where
so
he gave the kid the finger. Is this the one where you give the kid the finger?
he took the scarf from the kid.
No, this was like
the
in
kid
the
must
crowd.
have been like 10 years old, and he was he was like in front of me, and this was a Capital Wrestling. No, not Capital.
Creative Pro?
Creative Pro. I'm sorry, Creative Pro. There's too many freaking promotions. Okay, Creative Pro, and the kid's in front of me, and he's got the scarf around him, and MJF comes out, and then all of a sudden he rips the scarf off, and he spits on it and throws it back at the kid. And like
Oh my
the
God.
kid's face, I swear, was dropped. And he was so upset that he walked over to his dad, hysterical cry. I wanted to go over and give him a hug. Like that video went viral, like because I posted it up on Twitter. It went like viral, and he retweeted it. And he was like, he deserved it or something. And I'm like, oh my god.
I know the story she's talking about, though, with the kid at the signing. Then he gave the finger to, and the dad got all upset and tried to
Yeah.
tweet about it. And Like, come on, man. Like, you should know what you're getting your kid into.
Listen, I've had my fair share of MJF interactions. None of them were nice. And going to meet him at StarCast, it came kind of with a little warning on it. Like, basically, like, they're not responsible for what you get from him.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into when you at him on Twitter, when you go in his DMs, you know, you're looking to get roasted 100%. And you better have some thick skin if you're going to meet him or interact with him.
It's funny you said the StarCast thing, because Small World, we are obviously, me and Tiff and you were there. We just didn't know each other at the time. But
That's
you know how
crazy.
Cutler was above, like the steps in front of MJF, like it went the steps above and there's like a little platform. So me and Tiff were up there with Cutler because we had this whole thing with Cutler and we were talking about it and we were sitting there chilling with him and then we were like heckling MJF from the top there.
Even like Brendan Cutler was like heckling him too. It was great.
Cutler's a gem.
I mean, I like trolling him. I've stopped for a while, but it's fun. Like, and you know, he's obviously not offended by your trolling because he's gonna troll you right back. It's
he can take.
fun.
Oh yeah, if you could, you know, you have to like be able to dish it, you know, like back. You know, you got to just be ready for it because it's coming with him. But yeah, I told the story on the Under the Ropes the other day. I had GoPro Wrestling on with us and we were talking about MJF a little bit and I was telling the story how he signed one of my friends' like pictures and he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Dipshit." And he's like, and then he signed it to Dipshit. And I was just sitting there like dying and the guy was like so upset and I was like, dude.
See, I saw Maria's video when she posted the one from StarCast and what he wrote on it.
Yeah. That was fun. I was not expecting it, but kind of expecting it to whore. I still have it somewhere. I'm like, do I show my son this? I don't think I can.
I just love he stays in character. He never, ever, ever
100%.
breaks character. And that's a
100%.
gem to find right there.
Yeah, I love it.
And you know what? Like, you get a lot of, I personally got a lot of backlash for being his fan and the interactions. People were like, "Oh, you let him disrespect you like that," and I'm like, "It's fake, right?"
Yeah, like
I don't know. That's how I'm processing it. Like I'm in playing along. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people don't realize. Like I've gotten that too. Like in the indies, I've been called like certain names, and the funny thing is like I personally know like a lot of people. Like they know me. Like they've been on the podcast and stuff like that. So like they know, and I know what to expect. And I think people take a lot of it to heart. Where, you know, like I've had people come up to me and they're like, "Did they just say this to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right. Like I know where it's coming from." Like you got to remember it's a character they're playing. Like they're not you know, with me, like I can't go and take it too personal because obviously they know who I am. So, but just like you said, there's a little disclaimer. And I can't believe people pay $500 to go meet them and stuff like
or the
that.
cameo.
The cameo's wild.
I would not pay for that. Absolutely not.
I asked someone if they would buy me the cameo. They said no, go get a tattoo instead. So I did. I took the money.
There you go.
But yeah, I had no sympathy for that dad and his son, like zero. I was like, "That's your fault, man."
None.
You got to know.
know.
You know, like you got to know, and like you said, there's a disclaimer, so you have to know. You can't get like bent out of shape with it.
So,
read the fine print. You know, some people, you know, obviously are reading the fine print with even Matt Hardy.
Does that guy not know who MJF was? Like the dad? Like, how'd you not know? Like, why did you let your son even meet him?
Right, at such a young age.
See,
I don't know. I wouldn't bring my son's 15. I don't think I'd.
If I had my son, I don't. But if I had a son and I'm going around and I didn't know who that wrestler was, you know, I could probably tell by just looking and getting the vibes. Okay, he's that type of wrestler. So I'm not gonna let my small son, who's probably gonna take offense to that, and go meet him. I'm gonna go meet, you know, the big baby face wrestler in the corner that everyone wants to go line up and see. Like,
right.
Yep.
Anyways, other than that, BT was fine this week. It was great. It's funny. Other than that, around the AEW world, The Acclaim released a music video, which I thought was pretty funny. Those two are gaining a lot of popularity, but they're still getting mixed reviews I've seen from wrestling Twitter. So I think eventually they'll get over. I think maybe when there's crowd.
Yeah.
as far as their wrestling abilities, because I thought they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't liking the characters. Maybe they're not liking the rapping, but like I tell everybody else, we were not even a huge fan in the beginning of a lot of things like the Dark Order, and look where they are now.
Takes time.
So I have faith in AEW that if built correctly, they can be really over. Just give it, give it some time.
And they're working in a pandemic. Like, can you imagine if they debut with the crowd? I guarantee they'd be a lot more over right now than they currently are if there was a regular traveling crowd. But the music video was great. Basically, like an inner circle diss. The lyrics at the beginning, the guy was like reading to the doctor, like the first couple of lyrics to Judas, and then I think it's Max Caster, the other guy. He was like, I don't even know the lyrics to Judas. It was great. If you guys haven't seen it, go on their Twitter account and watch it.
And shout out to GoPro Wrestling because they filmed that. So
they did.
Yes. We
Oh,
talked
our boys
about
at
it the other
GoPro.
day.
Hey, you just interviewed them on Under the Ropes.
Yeah. So guys, like after this, go check out that interview if you didn't on Under the Rope series on the Holds Bar Network. So I just had Darren and Michael and Frank on, and they talked a little bit about that as well.
Other than that, if you're a big fan of micro brawlers, because I know these are like very popular with the collective industry in the fig world, but AEW's Wave 1 of micro brawlers is actually open for pre-orders from the 10th of February, so yesterday, till the 18th.
Cool.
$17.99 plus shipping for each. They have Darby advertised there, Brody Lee, Jericho, Moxley, Orange Cassidy, and Sheeta.
Yeah.
Those look pretty cool. I mean, I'm not into them,
funny?
but
I have an MJF one that came. Remember when I did the unboxing? Yes. Remember when I did the unboxing, the Pro Crate that they did the original
that's right.
AEW?
Yeah.
Right. So that's on the network too, that I did the unboxing for you guys, that it came with a Britt Baker toothbrush, came with 2 shirts, and it came with the MJF, micro brawler. So I have one of like the originals.
That's cool. That's
cool,
so cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Other than that, also, Dark. I watched Dark. Like, I kind of skimmed through it this week. Usually I try to catch it because Dark is such a cool platform because it's the platform that's giving work to all these independent wrestlers that are stuck in Florida that can't really get independent work around the United States right now because of the pandemic. So I love seeing it, and you never know, like some of these guys could get signed eventually. Like Lee Johnson, the big story with him now getting signed with AW. You never know who from that crop of talent there is going to get signed. I look at now the Hollywood, what they call them, the Varsity Blondes with Pillman Jr. now and was it Griff Garrison. So it's always good to watch Dark and watch people grow on there. From what I got this week, there was a match actually between 10 and this guy named Baron Blade, and apparently they have like this long history in the indies of facing each other, and then it was pretty cool to see them. Like they made a big deal about it on AEW Dark. The one thing I've noticed on Dark lately though is the commentary team has like way too much fun. Like they're half the time they're not even commentating the match. Like they're ripping on each other, or they're just like making fun of something and laughing together. And it's Taz, Excalibur, and they always have like a rotating third depending on what match it is. I just noticed like they just half time they're not even paying attention to the match, and like Excalibur will jump back to it half laughing, like talking about a move. This is something I noticed though. I haven't noticed if they're doing this on Dynamite, but I'll put it up on the screen for everybody. They started putting the ranking numbers on people's names in the match card screen. That's so like big sports thing. Like that's like a UFC thing, because like how Tony Khan wants AEW to feel more big sports feel and more sports feel than anything else. They've started putting the rankings now on the names on Dark. I don't know if that's going to transition over to Dynamite because I haven't seen that yet, but they started doing it, and I kind of like it. It adds a pretty cool kind of picture to it, and again, you get that fight feel. It kind of looks like UFC style where they have the rankings next to the people's names.
Right.
But I've noticed they started doing that now, which I saw it against Red Velvet's.
It's kind of smart, like if you're gonna implement that and makes sense, because a lot of us were complaining about the rankings. We're like, okay, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've been following them some weeks, and then some weeks they kind of like forget, and they'll give a random person a title shot, and it's like, okay, but what about the rankings? Like, you release them every week. Anyways, rest of it, I mean, I saw Swole running on an electric scooter, which is pretty funny. Jack Evans was wearing the Maria design shirt. So our girl Maria Ling, who makes all those crazy designs and have made a few designs that are on AEW shop right now. We interviewed her. She's a good friend of ours now. She's awesome. Jack Evans is wearing that shirt the entire match, which is pretty cool. Other than that, Dark was dark. I do want to talk about before we get into Dynamite. It's this big thing that's happening, and it got featured in Dynamite, the women's tournament. So I'm excited for this tournament.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Now, Maria, are you familiar with the Joshi style of wrestling at all? Like, do you recognize anybody from that?
Because and Tiffany kind of knows this, that Dennis was kind of putting me on to everything,
right,
and was going to teach me. That was the deal. So I'm still learning. So I think Tiffany has to teach me everything now.
So you'll be able to catch it on Monday. Yeah. So Monday on the YouTube channel, on AEW's YouTube channel, we're going to see the Japan side start. Okay. And I am very excited about this. I know a few of the names. Haven't looked up a bunch of them. I'm very excited about one name because as soon as this tournament got announced, her tweet made me say, okay, I'm automatically going for this girl. And I'll put the bracket up. Here we go. So we have the Super 16. Well, now they're calling it something else. It's like they're changing it every time there's a match. Now it's like something 15 now. It's like Amazing 15. It looks like they're changing that. But anyways, on the Japan side, we got Yuka Sakazaki against I'm going to butcher these names. Mai Saruga.
Never mind.
No.
I know that's
Sharona. I'm sorry, I had to.
I had to.
So the cool thing about the top side of the Japan bracket, so Emi Sakura, she's a veteran, as we know. I mean, she was all in AEW in 2019. They made mention of her a lot of the times, like she's a grizzled veteran in the women's division and Joshi wrestling. Her protege is actually Mai Saruga. That's her protege. So I'd be interested to see if both of those move on, and then the teacher and the student face each other in the semifinal. That'd be a cool story. In the bottom part, it's Maki Ito. Her tweet was freaking hilarious. So she retweeted the AEW women's tweet, the tournament announcement, and she puts, AEW, I'm coming, motherfuckers.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
Badass.
I'm like, that's it. That's my pick.
Yep, that was it.
I don't even care who else is in the side. I'm picking her.
Nope.
It's done.
Aja Kong is in it, though. We've seen Aja Kong in 2019 as well. I think everyone was waiting for Aja and Awesome Kong to meet in AEW, but that never kind of came through. But the Japan side, out of a lot of Joshi wrestling fans that I know, looks stacked, and it's going to be a great tournament. And then we have, obviously, the U.S. side. We had Rosa move on. She'll face the winner of next week's match of Serena Deeb and Riho, who's returning. Tay Conti's going to face Nyla Rose. Dr. Britt Baker going to face Anna Jay. I'm pumped.
This is crazy.
I'm pumped.
I'm actually excited to kind of see, because everybody's always like, you gotta watch New Japan, but New Japan's on like when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of excited to see.
Oh, so do you have a Roku device?
The different.
I
have Amazon Fire Stick.
There you go. But you can get
thing.
You can get the Roku.
So they have I forgot to watch it today, but at 5:00 today Eastern, on the Roku channel, they're showing a 1 hour of the New Japan, I guess it's going to be
Wrestle Kingdom, I think you said?
They're going to start doing the U.S. show when it gets going. Right now, they're showing replays, so they were showing the replays of Wrestle Kingdom today.
It's a good way to get people over that don't watch New Japan, and I don't stay consistent with New Japan. It's more of a random that I watch. There's so much, obviously there's so much wrestling out there. It's impossible to watch everything. It's kind of I get torn all over the freaking place. But what I do watch is good. And even what all these women wrestlers, that a lot of them that I'm not familiar with myself, but I've seen, we're friends with people that are big into stardom, and just even going through clips on Twitter and watching, some of this Joshi wrestling, and even us being introduced into AEW with some of the Joshi wrestling, it's so different and it's so good. And I can't wait so we see more of that. It's just great even now that we're
Kenny
getting
was boosting
it.
Yeah. Kenny was tweeting saying you guys are going to want to watch this. He's vouching that it's going to be some of the awesome wrestling. I'm just curious to see where they taped it over there. Like, what dojo were they in that they taped all this? I don't know if they used Stardom's dojo. Is there a partnership there? If there is, hell yeah. Like, I'm all for that as well. So I'm very curious to see what this turns. I'm excited for Monday to catch that. I know in the chat, I think Kilroy brought it up there that he wishes that the Japan side would be live on Dynamite. I don't think that's possible because of pandemic. Maybe I know whoever wins the Japan side is going to be flown over, and they're going to do like the final, I'm assuming, probably at Revolution. But I can't see them doing.
It would be kind of cool to like take one of the matches and put it into the slot
on Dynamite. Yeah.
Yes. Like I think that would be a kind of cool concept. Because we know that's coming from Japan, but I would probably, because this is so important, I feel like that it should be on Dynamite. That you should give us like maybe like one match, or especially into the semifinals. Yeah. At least give us those matches so we can see. So it gives a taste, because if somebody's not watching the YouTube channel, then at least you could see it on Dynamite.
It's better exposure.
Exactly.
On Dynamite
I think would be the best way to go about that.
So we'll see. We only know that they showed the one US match this week. We're in the next US match next week. We don't know how many matches they're going to show on Monday. So we may actually eventually get that, which I hope so. We'll see. I kind of would rather have that than see Shaq in the ring. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Or like the 20-minute entrance between Cody and Sting.
Yeah, that's
the never-ending snow.
Who's got the longer entrance, Cody or Sting?
I really wanted to say, I think I was watching Dynamite last night. I'm thinking is Cody, no matter what, no matter how low key, a high key a show is, the dramatics of his entrance are just always there. It's so dramatic.
He's the Triple H of AEW.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it, but yes, he is all the time.
I feel like that it should just be saved for like big pay-per-views or something.
Somehow it's just
it takes up too much time, right? And then it's like all the other ones, like I'll get bent out of shape if I don't see Private Party come out with their entrance, because those are my
pay-per-view,
boys.
forget about it. You got to book them in a 60-minute match because 30 minutes is the entrance.
Yes. As I was saying, high key, low key, even on Dynamite, a regular.
He's got to have his whole fight team out there, and you got to hug everybody. And
the AEW still hasn't run out of snow.
How much money? I really wanted to throw that question out there. I wanted for a fan question. I should have thrown out. How much money do you think Tony Khan spent on snow, or spent on the snow machine? Because Sting has been out here every week since he's been here.
Now, why does he have snow anyway? Like, I don't understand.
Right? It makes no sense.
Did I miss something growing up? Was he like
Maria
coming out to snow when I was a child? I don't know.
This is funny because I watch AEW every week with Mrs. Masters, and the first time she saw Sting, it was exactly her first thing. She goes, okay, so his name is Sting, which is a insect from the desert. Why is there snow?
No, right, exactly.
I didn't know what to say. I was just like, I don't know. He debuted at Winter is Coming. That's probably why.
Conrad said,
let's just run with it, I guess.
Yeah. Conrad said it's shaved ice.
Same thing. Whatever. How much money is he spending on that?
We need to tweet at him. We have to ask. We have to tweet at Tony Khan.
He's not going to answer us.
Damn it.
Maybe he will.
Anyways.
You never know.
Let's get into Dynamite.
All right, let's talk about this.
And we're going to start off because we have a guest here that's a big MJF fan. We're going to start off with the Inner Circle stuff.
Okay, let's do it.
Sure, I want to hear what she's got to say. So, MJF and Jericho teamed up to face the Acclaimed. We saw, obviously, the Acclaimed music video dissing them. Again, lots of promise in the Acclaimed. So much promise in those guys. I have all the faith in the world they're going to eventually come out as a very over team. Jericho and MJF joined by the Inner Circle, but without Sammy, as we saw what happened earlier tonight. Now, I have a question here, and I'm going to ask it to Maria first. Mm-hmm. So, Maria, we saw what happened earlier tonight. Obviously, you've seen with the whole Sammy and MJF exchange. Sammy thought he was recording, punches him in the gut, even though I thought it was lower. I thought he punched him lower than that. And then MJF kind of comes out with wrapped ribs. I'm going, okay. He punched him. That's very excessive. Now, I
How
read an
strong
interesting
is
theory.
Sammy?
Here comes the theory, and I want to get your take on it. The theory is that MJF and Sammy are in cahoots with each other, and they're the ones trying to control the Inner Circle together and kick Jericho out.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Because like the theory goes, like, why would he be bandaged up so like all like that just from like a punch to the gut? And I guess this person seen that there was like a little bit of smirking going on. I have to go back and watch between the two while they were like arguing with each other. And I'm going, okay, that's kind of an interesting theory. That'd be a big swerve.
That would be a really big swerve. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see you saying that at all. I want to see Sammy and MJF go
One-on-one.
head to head,
Yeah.
but that's really good. Holy crap! I'm taken back.
I
This might have changed everything right
Oh,
now.
man.
seen that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that either. I'm like, this could be the
Brilliant.
big swerve because they're obviously they're pushing us all towards, Sammy leaving now. Like, what if next week, because now Santana and Ortiz have a title match. What if they win the titles and this kind of sends them
I think
away?
that's where it's going.
And the one thing is too, they didn't call them, and I mentioned this to Tiff because so now the AEW is working with Impact. Impact, I didn't know, Tiff didn't know. I looked it up. Impact owns the name LAX. They own the tag name.
Right.
They were mentioned and advertised as Santana and Ortiz, not Proud and Powerful. They didn't mention Proud and Powerful at least ever on Dynamite last night. Are they swaying away from that? Is the LAX name coming back? And then I saw another theory on top of that. I saw that AEW is very interested in Zelina Vega right now. As soon as her no compete clause is done, are they going to bring her in and her be the kind of like chaperone or manager to LAX? Because it kind of fits her style.
It does.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Roll with that.
Like
Who's this person?
this is just wrestling Twitter. This is just wrestling Twitter.
Like,
If you-
is this a specific person?
No,
Because
I
need to
sit there
follow
literally. I
them.
type in the hashtag AW and wrestling Twitter, and I sit there and read people's theories. I'm like, okay, that's a good one. And I read one, I'm like, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Wow.
Some of them are like that.
Pretty
I'm like, okay.
interesting.
But I'm just like, damn. But I'm like, now that they, and I got me thinking, okay, maybe they can go back to being called LAX. No, Proud and Powerful, they love that. And there's a big history between those two with the name Proud and Powerful. And, they did a whole like deep dive into it when they were first called it. But now that they're allowed to use the name, will they go back to LAX? I'm interested to see.
And now they're working with Impact. Too.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just crazy, like everything that the crossovers of everything we could possibly get.
So say that these two theories I said don't happen. Say like the MJF thing is actually happening with Sammy. Santana Ortiz now next week. That could be more of a breakup. If they win the titles,
I feel that's where it's going.
we're seeing more of a split. Seems like Revolution is going to be the kind of conclusion to this whole thing. Possibly. Maybe they kind of string it out to Double or Nothing. Maybe they're hoping by then they could go and travel somewhere with some sort of crowd because, again, we don't know with this pandemic. Every day it changes. So I'm very intrigued. But your pal MJF there, definitely very, very evil and conniving if he is the one plotting all this and destroying the Inner Circle from within. But if this is what they're going and it's not a swerve, Sammy Guevara, my God, like, that was probably the biggest face turn I've ever seen. And
Yeah.
there wasn't
And
a
he
crowd there.
Yeah.
And he blocked him on Twitter too.
Yeah.
So they took the storyline right to social media. Keep going with it.
I
Oh.
love that they do that sometimes. And like even in the beginning, we were getting a lot of that of like the bloom of AEW that we were seeing a lot of back and forth on Twitter with them. So
Mhm.
I love sometimes when you get that storyline that continues onto social media. So it's a good way as well.
Your buddy, your pal MJF Scarf has joined the chat there, Maria, by the way.
Hi, Scarf.
He says Sammy is a petulant child. Oh my God, freaking! I can't English today. Oh my God.
It's okay. I can't English any day.
Anyways, yeah. So this is an interesting story. I'm glad because I've said it for a couple of weeks here on the podcast, Maria, that I needed something else with this inner circle storyline because they keep coming out and it's kind of like they're doing the same things and we're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, I think it's.
I'm glad we did something this week.
It would be cool, like, to see your theory, and that would be a good way
Not
to
my
get
theory.
back the inner circle back over, because I think it's starting to like die out with everybody, that we're getting like bored. Me personally, like, I want Santa Ortiz to, have their shot to go after the belts, and which we're gonna finally get. So I love them. I would love them with the belts. Being a fan of them for a long time, and I've been saying this for the longest, that Sammy really needs a run. Like, I can definitely see him with the TNT championship belt. Like, I would love to see Sammy and Darby go at it, and Sammy take the belt, and I can see him going complete babyface now. So is he going to come back in a couple of weeks, and is he going to be complete babyface? Like, I like your theory. Do I think that theory is going to happen? No, but it would be interesting to to swerve everybody, right? Because I think everybody's kind of on the same boat as me, thinking that Sammy's gonna have this baby run and go this route and make the TNT, go after the TNT championship. That's my thought process after all this is done between him and MJF, because that's what it looks like on paper, right? That I think. So it would be an interesting way to run how that you were just talking about, to swerve everybody, and I'm all for these swerves. I'm still waiting for MJF and Wardlow to go at it.
Yes, they got to break up soon.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna assume they have that written down already. Khan's got that in his binder where it's labeled stuff to do when we have crowd again.
I don't even think that needs a crowd.
They have to, Tiff. You know that they're putting a lot of stuff in the back burner right now because we're around the corner from this happening, and they can't just keep giving out stuff like this with no crowd, because I don't think it feels the same. And I know
we are getting like a little bit of crowd. I know it's not ideal of what we're used to of the norm, but there is like a little bit of a crowd.
It's mixed in with the fake crowd noise. It's not genuine. You know what I mean? There's a difference between what we're getting now in a packed 18 or whatever they're doing, 10 to 14,000 arenas that they were doing before. There's a massive difference, and it's that the crowds. The AW have been rowdy. We were at Full Gear as a freaking rowdy crowd. The Revolution crowd before the pandemic was a rowdy crowd. There's a big difference between what we're getting, and I'll give all the credit in the world to the people that are going there right now and doing their best to cheer loud enough with masks on, and the ringside wrestlers that are, the guns are been like the gems throughout this whole pandemic. Austin, Billy, and the other son, I always forget his damn name.
Yeah.
But they've been the best. They were controlling the Instagram account yesterday. I went and looked at all the stories. Oh my God, was it ever great?
What, the AEW?
Yeah, so they gave, I believe they gave Austin the the AEW Instagram account, and they were doing stories all night from ringside, and it was so good.
Nice. Different perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, we'll move on. The beginning Dynamite was actually pretty, so I tweeted this out. So Darby and Janela faced each other, and I tweeted out, I'm like, okay, I'm scared for these two because both these two don't have a blatant disregard for putting their bodies on the line. Like, they just,
very true.
they will jump off a skyscraper if you tell them to do it. They're like, okay, cool. We'll see how I feel after.
Pretty much.
100%. Yes.
So this is a great match.
But I love Joey's gear. The match was great. It was awesome. Yeah.
I love Joey's gear. This is like bad boy all over his gear. Like, I just love it.
Yo, his entrance. So if you guys haven't been watching Dark, they've kind of improved on him and Sonny's entrance, because either it's Sonny going one-on-one with someone or it's Joey going one-on-one with someone. They're always coming out together. Either way, Joey comes out and like Sonny will do his like booty shake on the stage, and like Joey just like falls backwards and drops down or like goes crazy for the booty shake. Oh and this week he ran over to the announce desk and like grabbed Ricky Starks' commentary mic, and he's like best booty in the game, baby. And Ricky Starks like, that guy smells like what do you say?
Alcohol?
Something and cigarettes.
No.
But this match, it was good, and it was for the TNT Championship. So I love that we're getting the defense, basically the TV title the AEW has on Dynamite. I mean, Team Test said they'd be there watching last week, but I was like going, okay, where you at? Where you at? I mean, we saw what happened later, but where you at? I was waiting for like them to jump him at any moment, but other than that, they gave them a pretty good alluded time. Great match. They again disregard for their bodies. Janela's like suicide dive scares the hell out of me every single time. Darby just Darby. I think I'm less cringe because Darby's a skater guy and he's broken every bone in his body to me, and so it's like he's all right. Joey, I fear for his life.
You've done that already.
Yeah, he's like, he's
It's okay.
He jumps off the rope. He broke his arm. He did that like 800 times already. He's all right. You just pop it back in. He probably doesn't need to go to the hospital anyways.
That's gonna catch up to him like when he hits like 40. Like
he'll be in a walker, guaranteed.
Yeah.
He'll have like all the hip replacement surgeries you can ever have in your life by 40.
Yeah.
So I hope he calms down a little bit, just a little bit. But later on, the kidnap Darby. What's up with AEW and kidnap lately? They're kidnapping everybody. Everyone's kidnapping. It's a thing to do. Like, was it Marco Stunt got kidnapped, and now Darby's getting kidnapped and put in a body bag and dragged away by a car.
Done with this. Like, end the feud already. I'm over it.
Oh, they are. Revolution. We just gotta wait.
It needs to end. It's dragging
coming.
too long. Too long.
No, we have to have 4 more Sting entrances with as much snow as possible for the next 4 weeks, and then it'll be over.
We want to see how much money Tony Khan's going to push out on the snow.
And we all know at Revolution with this cinematic match, you know that Sting's going to come out and it's going to be like a blizzard happening.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Some production stage blizzard.
Can you imagine? The machine breaks and it's just like nonstop snow.
It's like 5 snowflakes falling in.
Oh.
Like New
Keep
York.
wrestling. Keep going.
Yeah, it's okay. Young Bucks come out, there's still snow, and then they do their pose, and then poof, money blows down. Then that breaks too, and then there's like continuous
money and snow.
Like,
can't see anybody.
Yeah, what if they get confused and switch the 2 by accident? Like Sting comes out and it's money falling instead of snow.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. See, I would love to see that.
Done totally on purpose.
And the Bucks come out and like snow shoots at them. They're like, what the heck?
Like the Young Bucks come out with like these guns, like instead of like the money, like the freaking snow. Like
I would.
They need to do that.
I'm for this.
But at least it was something different this week, Tiff. Every other week with this, it's been Darby and Sting come to the ring. They get interviewed by Tony. Taz is on the screen. He says something. Nothing happens. That's been the same thing every week, but this week we at least got something different. Darby got dragged away.
The same shit.
No, it was
still going on.
It's not the same shit.
It's still Sting.
It's Sting.
I don't care.
It's the icon. The vigilante.
That should not be wrestling.
Oh God, no! His match is going to be cinematic as all hell. I wouldn't doubt they found a stunt double to look exactly like him.
I hope. I hope. If he's got to wrestle, I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my take on that.
God, well, you know
You're past your prime.
Well, there's someone else that shouldn't be out in the ring. We'll get to that later when we talk about the main event.
Who else?
We'll go for it, Kyle. You already brought it up, so let's go.
Fine, I'll bring out the main event. We'll talk about the main event. So Omega.
Oh, the main event.
Oh, damn. We're like going all in. All right,
I told
let's do
you.
it.
You wanted me to go with it. I'll stop.
Let's do it. Because the real star, let's talk about this. The real star of the show last night was the sack of potatoes. That's it. Forget anything else. That was the entire story last night.
That whole kitchen scene was great. I love the kitchen scene.
That was like a shot at WWE with catering, because that was my instant thought. But no, like the real star is the sack of potatoes.
Okay, so those are some real Idaho.
Win.
Those are some real Idaho potatoes.
Who was it that tweeted at me? It was like, I really want French fries right now. And I was like, yes.
This was an unreal match, though. I thought this main event was actually like very good. This is one of the better main events we've had in a while. Like, this was so well done, using a lot of the environments in the arena. Obviously, with Avalon's, if you can call that a bed, we found out it wasn't a bed underneath. I don't know what the hell that was. His heart-shaped box, the back kitchen, the announce desk. I just loved seeing Kenta, the IWGP US title, the briefcase, all on Dynamite. I mean, it just throws more at you that this partnership is running good. It's taken off now. Like, from here on out, we don't know what we're going to get. It's going to be crazy. Obviously, they're going to wait until the pandemic's done, and then we can probably get a super show going or whatever they're going to do. I'm so excited for this partnership. It's going to be very good. And again, you don't know who's going to show up on which show we are. Are they going to have a TNT title defended at Wrestle Kingdom next year? Is the U.S. title going to come back and have a U.S. title defense on Dynamite? Like, there's so many possibilities now with New Japan launching their U.S. show. This is going to be great. It's just good exposure for both companies with fans that don't know about each company. It's such a smart business plan, and thank you, Tony Khan, for first and foremost for being the guy that bring all these three companies together, like Impact, New Japan, and AEW, which gets me to think, what's going on with Ring of Honor?
Well, let's think about it also. I was thinking about that too, but then we still have AAA. We still have OWE.
Yeah, so I read today. I did read today that the AAA, as they call it, or AAA, they're in partnership with AEW. That's apparently that's sealed because Kenny's their world champion, and
well, that's not new.
Well, it's official now. They were doing it on a part-time basis before because they were just allowing Kenny to go over there to face.
Is he still the champ over there?
What's his face? Yeah. So, but now they're gonna build on that. Like, apparently, we're about to see more luchadors appear on Dark and Dynamite now, from what I read today. Apparently, they're really big on introducing more luchadors, so that's gonna be cool.
I can't wait for that Battle of the Belts.
That they trademarked. What the heck?
Just the thought about this, like I was talking about this with Anthony last night, and I'm like, just the thought of the possibilities of what we can get. It's just
Tiff, who's Anthony for people that don't know? You just said, like, I talked with Anthony last night. Someone watching going, oh, Anthony.
I'll always call him Smart to Death Anthony. So if you guys used to watch Smart to Death, Tony
there you go. That's who that is. There you go.
Yes, Anthony. I know. I know. To Kyle and to a lot of people, like there are a lot of Anthonys, and then of course you guys know me as Anthony Gangon's my number one husband. But yeah. So Tony, if a lot of people call him Tony or whatever. So, but we were talking about that last night. The possibilities, like, man, we should do that as a fan tweet and get people involved. Like, if what would be your card?
Just quickly in the chat, Terrell. Yes, Terrell in the chat. MLW was in that same news article. So because MLW is working with AAA now, they're in talks with MLW as well. I know the official partnership is with AAA, but I believe they're still in talks with MLW as well. Which, if they're trying to introduce more luchadors, you might as well go with MLW too as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, as for again, the partnership is great. For this match, though, we'll go back to the match. I got to talk about it.
Okay.
Jake Roberts. Don't want to see him out there anymore. After what I've seen this week, come on, man. Like, if you guys were watching closely, after he took that, for one, I'm like, okay, as soon as I see him doing a spot, I'm like, okay, this is not going to end well. And then, like, if you've seen him crawling on the stage, he was, like, reaching for his puffer. And he was like almost like he was like dying, and like the Rensburg was checking up on him, and his face was like looking shocked. Yeah. Like, hey, like enough with Jake Roberts, man. He can't.
He needs to stay in the back.
Every time he comes out
and then walk back.
Exactly. Yeah. The first 3 seconds he comes out on Dynamite, it looks like he's gonna blow a gasket. Like, enough. Like, just stay away, please, for your health.
I didn't catch that, but
go back and watch, and you'll be like, oh god. I thought he was reaching for his heart. He was reaching for his freaking puffer.
One day he's going to come out with the snake, Kyle. Don't you know?
No. Done. Do backstage promos. Just stay off of TV, please. You're a liability and a half.
Oh, God, Kyle.
I have it on right now, and he is ringside.
Okay, well, when it's late, it's near the end after the Good Brothers come out.
Yeah.
Because, like, he gives a clothesline to, I believe it's Luke Gallows, and then... Or Joey
Why
or Carl
is he
Anderson.
doing that?
Yeah.
No, April, no. We don't need Jake versus Tully. No.
You must have the paramedics in the ring at the same time if that's going to happen. The paramedics are the referees.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
But anyways, the Good Brothers came out to help. They assisted. They assisted in the One-Winged Angel, which was crazy. I can't believe he got the One-Winged Angel off on Archer. And they had like a Bullet Club type ending. But out of all of this, the guy that stood out the most to me was Lance Archer. I think he had, like, I know he took the pin, but he looked great in all of this.
Dominant.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we were missing that for a long time. Like, we were missing, like, when's the lot, like, he was coming out in the beginning of COVID during like the Dynamite's like beating the crap out of randos and just, you know, being that dominant guy. And then I believe he took a L at a pay-per-view, I forget against who. I think it was against Cody. He lost to somebody, and then after that, it kind of just like crushed his momentum.
Yeah.
And then he kind of picked it back up again, and then he's been kind of stagnant since then. Now this match, they need to kind of just build off this with him. I don't know where they're going to go with him after this.
So good too, like.
But I thought we would definitely get the world title picture. We don't even have a world title match for Revolution booked yet.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that? Are we getting Moxley and Omega again? Like, tell us. I'm shocked that they don't have anything booked to build for the pay-per-view. And I'd hope. I said this last week. When I said it on the podcast last week, I was like, okay, I hope in the next couple of days they come out with, like, you know, on their Twitter account, by the way, the Revolution match is going to be this. We're going to start building for it.
How many weeks?
I hope today.
So 1, 2, 3 weeks. We're out 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
And no build for the match.
And we have no build for the title. I mean, I guess we are. I guess that's what it's going towards is Moxley again. I mean,
or are we just not going to have a title match, or is it going to be?
No, you can't not have a title match. You just can't not.
Yeah,
have
they don't
one.
do a pay-per-view every month like other people, so we kind of.
No, you have to.
I don't think Moxley's going to be involved because he's going over to. He has a match against Kenta at the end of the month at New Japan Strong for the. Or is it on New Japan Strong or is there other pay-per-view for the IWGP
right?
US title? So I believe he's going to go there and he's going to have to quarantine after. So I don't think he's going to be at Revolution.
So is this going to be at Japan or is this going to be at the dojo?
No, it's going to be in the
California?
States, but I don't see him being in a title match. I don't see it happening. That's way too much. Like, he's not going to be able to be here. He's going to go now and build this U.S. title match with Kenta.
So who would be in line?
This is what I mean. I think maybe it's
Is
going to
it
be Lance Archer.
Lance? Yeah. It would be a good match.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
It would be a good match.
It would.
I could see that.
So you guys let us know in the chat what you guys think. It's interesting because they did the whole golf course thing on Dynamite, which was pretty funny.
That was funny with them. Like,
Marvez must have like a portal because he literally like a segment before that he was in the parking lot with Sammy Guevara, and then all of a sudden it's daytime and he's in the golf course with Kenny Omega. Like, okay, Marvez, you're just everywhere, bud. You're a great reporter.
Oh, jeez.
But that was funny. I laughed at that. Like, Kenny putted his shot, and you could see in the background, like, Callis putting the ball into the hole, and it's like, you got it, Eagle. Good job, Kenny.
Oh, jeez.
But Kenny's basically saying that Don is looking out for him. Like, he doesn't need to be studying tape for this main event match. And, you know, it kind in a way. So he's saying that Callis is taking care of him. It's almost like he's confused and doesn't see that Callis is actually the puppeteer and Kenny's the puppet. And he's kind of losing sight of that. So I'm assuming when this all comes to fruition, it's going to be like Kenny's going to snap out and figure out that, you know, Callis was controlling him this whole time. And whether
I don't know. You got me like thinking because you're like talking about this and you're making me think like, you know, the future, right? And we keep saying like, I still believe that Hangman's going to take this belt off of Kenny.
I think that's the end goal.
So I think that's the end goal. Obviously, it's not going to be anytime soon. Maybe All Out, maybe long. I don't know. But that would be cool.
That's a back burner thing. That's one of those things he has in his binder.
It's going to be like
later in the year.
Yeah, like a slow build. And then I can see Don costing Kenny the title down the line. And like I always say, to make Hangman, like Hangman's already over. We talk about this every week. Hangman's over, right? But it would mean more, it would be more special for Hangman to take this belt off of Kenny because of the long history from the beginning, right? So it would be kind of cool, and maybe there's like a lot of thoughts going in my head.
You don't want to see though. There's another end goal. So that's like the AEW end goal, but we know deep down for people that follow the story between these two, Ibushi and Omega need to face each other. That's got to happen, and whether it leads to after, like we've seen it with the whole New Japan story with when was it Okada came for the save on Kenny, and then you know they reunited as the Golden Lovers. We know eventually now that this partnership just solidifies that eventually I think we're going to get Kota and Omega verse each other, and maybe after the match like Kota snaps Kenny out of it, and maybe we get a go. I know we're gonna get a lovers reunion again. That's going to happen again, whether it be on New Japan TV or AEW. But now they're working together. It could happen on both.
You know who I'm waiting for to come over? Okay, Jay White. He lives in Florida.
See,
let's go.
That's gonna happen because of this whole Bullet Club thing. What they're doing with the teasing, that's leading to that Bullet Club versus the Elite over here Bullet Club. That's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when
it's
going
gonna
to happen.
It's gonna be a long, slow build. And that's the nice thing about AEW is that we are getting these build of stories and like long-term booking, which is great. So I love that. Again, like I love when the wrestlers play into social media, and that gets also us hyped.
Oh, did you see? Speaking of,
it keeps it going.
Yeah. Did you see? Speaking of, they released a video on AEW's Twitter channel, and they did like a New Japan style press conference. With Callis and the Good Brothers and Kenny, and they're basically like making fun of the Bullet Club and they're saying the name over and over again, and basically at the end of the press conference they're like, hey, make sure everyone here just go out and get Bullet Club merch. They need the money. Do it, please. Buy the Bullet Club merch. I'm like,
they were making fun of the Bullet Club.
Yeah. So they're calling like Tonga out and all that. So I think that's leading to it. And Tiff, you were supposed to be in New Jersey. Was it 2020 for Blood and Guts?
I was supposed to be there too.
So Maria was supposed to be there too. That's leading me to think that maybe they're holding that off now for Blood and Guts Bullet Club versus Bullet Club.
Oh my God, that would make it up.
They pushed us to September, right?
Yeah, I got pushed to September. I sold my tickets back.
So you guys were supposed to go to that. I was supposed to go to the Rochester one where Brody Lee and Matt Hardy were supposed to make their debut. I was supposed to be there, and I was pissed they pushed that. Right now, I think mine's in June right now, they said, but I highly doubt that's even going to happen. It's probably going to be pushed again. But each time Ticketmaster's like, do you want a refund? I'm like, no, just keep it. Yeah, push.
Keep the damn tickets. I'm not going. 2 years from now, we'll be there.
Yeah. When I'm vaccinated, I'm coming. Anywho, Rihu.
I'd also want Yano to come over and wrestle Orange Cassidy.
Everyone wants to see that. I've seen that all the time. Yano and Orange Cassidy. Those two are like... That'd be the most entertaining gimmick match of all.
Yeah.
Other than that, on Dynamite, because we were talking about the main event. The women's match was really good. The first one in the women's tournament. Legit Layla Hirsch, Thunder Rosa. Rosa basically cut a promo before, and they had like the little video package, and she's like, I'm coming. I'm going to dominate this tournament. I'm coming for you, Sheeta. I'm coming for Serena Deeb's NWA belt, and then I'm coming for you, Britt Baker. You and that big nose of yours.
Oh my goodness.
So she's looking to run through, and Rosa's my pick for this side of the tournament. I think it's going to be Rosa and the other girl, the MFer girl on the other side.
Yeah.
What MFer girl?
The one that tweeted out like, I'm coming AEW, you mother effers.
From Japan. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm picking. But this match was good. This was it was fun. If this has any indication of what this tournament's going to be like, I take all my money kind of thing. Again, Kenny was preaching. Yeah. And legit Layla Hirsch I think she's growing on everybody every week. I keep seeing on wrestling Twitter week by week, every time she's on, that people are starting to like her more and see that she's actually a good asset in this division. Like she may be small, but she is good in the ring, and she has good mat wrestling because of her background. It's a very, very good look for her, and she does transition well. She wrestles good with a lot. She's wrestled with a bunch of people so far, and each match has been great with her. So she can transition depending on whatever style it is and keep up with that transition. So that was good. Thunder Rosa's Thunder Rosa. She's great at everything.
Right. She's so good.
I'm excited. Next week's Serena Deeb and the returning Riho.
Oh, yes, or as we call Rihu.
Rihu.
Yeah, and that's a thing here. When we move on, we go anywho Rihu. It's a shirt. Go check it out, guys. Buy it. Maybe whatever you need to do. Anyways, we talk about one long entrance. The other one, Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson, not Cody Lee. Faced off against Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi. This feud was put together from Dark. There's been a feud between Avalon and Lee Johnson happening. The one crazy thing here is they had Arn Anderson's son at ringside.
Yeah.
Oh my God, does that ever look like him?
Oh my God.
He's
Yeah.
his twin.
He's a spitting image of his dad. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
You can never
holy-
deny his dad. Never.
Nope.
So I was wondering what, because Anderson tweeted out earlier before Dynamite saying like something's happening on Dynamite that's going to change like a part of his career. And they mentioned it on commentary that his son's actually training to be a wrestler. So, okay. Okay, so we got Taz's son training to be a wrestler. They got Art Anderson's son to being trained to be a wrestler. We're going to see the next generation of talent coming into this company
see
eventually.
We see it already, right? Like,
I mean, I don't think, what's his name? What's freaking Taz's son? He's got that weird name.
oh God, I'm so bad at like.
He's got that
I'm
weird
fried
name.
today.
Like, I'm like, of course Taz's son is named that. Oh, God, why can't I think of it? Someone's gonna say in the
Taz's
chat.
son with the weird name.
So that guy. I didn't catch Arn Anderson's son name. I don't know if they mentioned it, but again, they're currently training. So
Hook?
again,
It's
it's crazy.
Hook, right?
Hook,
Yeah.
that's it.
Hook, yeah.
Hook.
Okay.
I'm Captain Hook. Anyways, decent tag team match. Lee Johnson finding his first win in AEW. So to me, okay, it is gonna sound like I'm shitting on this, but I'm
I
not.
feel like Kyle's gonna come on the show with a
So-
hook now.
I'm not coming on with
Or-
Captain Hook.
And a
No,
patch. And a patch on your
I'm not
Captain
doing that.
Hook now.
Captain Kyle.
Nope.
It's
Just
not
gonna
Canadian
talk about
Kyle.
this match.
Captain
here.
Kyle.
So this match, Tiff. Let's talk about this match here.
Why?
I have a problem with this. I got a problem with the ending of this match. So I had no problem with Lee Johnson winning. He was 0-29 on Dark. You know, like that's a horrible
Finally
record.
got a win. He
Finally got a win, good.
got a win.
But I feel like it was overdone, his celebration. Like this guy won one match out of 29. Like, and he came up on stage. It was like the guy just won like the beauty pageant. They had everybody out there like hugging each other, and you know they're interviewing him. And I'm like, hey, like he won a match. Like he's not this like no one knew about this guy before Dynamite. Why are they making such a big deal out of this win? I was very confused. Like good for him, but all the theatrics was not needed.
He was 0-29, right?
Yeah, 0-29.
Yeah.
Did they make a big deal about Cutler? No. No.
Well, we did. We made a big deal out of Cutler.
When he got his first win, but no. What's so different with Lee Johnson? You tell me Lee Johnson is a bigger star than Brandon Cutler?
Right.
I felt
I'm
very
watching
awkward.
Jake the Snake right now.
Oh, so you're gonna see his fall. Yeah. So they cut a promo, but the one thing they pointed out here was that like when they were interviewing him cutting his promo, he mentioned like he was thanking all the Nightmare family team. But he didn't mention QT, and if you look in the background, QT's face was like, "What? Like he didn't mention me?" So I'm wondering if they're doing something there. If it's gonna be a weird feud with Lee and QT, but like I mean, it's not something that you're gonna. Oh, okay, I gotta tune in Dynamite to watch this. But I found it. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if that was on purpose or maybe QT was just that was a real reaction, like yo, you forgot my name, kind of thing. Like, yo, did you read your promo backstage?
Hold on, he's crawling on the stage.
Yeah, see? He's like grabbing his heart, and I'm like, is he having a heart attack? Someone check on him.
The ref is just standing there with him. He's just like bent over, not moving.
Yeah.
It is a little too much.
Yeah, like he can't be out there anymore. If he's gonna do that, just no, just stay in the back. What?
I didn't catch it before, but now that you mentioned it and it's on, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, they kind of furthered the Hangman and they made a big deal of it. So Hangman and Matt Hardy, this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
He's
this
gonna
looks
be
like it's
game.
going to lead to a match with each other.
So is that going to be at Revolution?
I'm assuming so, because Hardy invited him to this like open bar lounge, and it was all on him. At the bar, after a few drinks, Hardy thinks he can make Hangman the number one guy in AEW. He's like, I'm really here to be your business partner. I can make you the biggest star, make you all the money. All I ask is for 30%. That's Matt Hardy's thing. But there's also other things in his little fine print, which Hangman was smart enough. Even though he was pissed drunk, he was smart enough. I guess he's grown a tolerance for alcohol because Matt Hardy turns to the camera and says, I want you guys here to watch this contract signing. And as he's doing that, Hangman grabs the contract, throws it over the bar, and pulls out one out of his jacket pocket. And I'm like, oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay. What is Hangman's contract? And he signs it. He makes Matt sign it. And Matt doesn't even look at it. He just puts it in his pocket. Goes, okay, good business decision, Hangman. We're gonna make you big. We're gonna make you a big star. And then he leaves. And then I wonder what Hangman has on that contract. I'm wondering what it.
That's what we need to find out. That was good. Actually,
I'm curious. I'm very curious to see this, and I think that'd be a good
I'm gonna
match.
sell his child to him. Next child.
Stop it.
He's got 30% of his next.
Oh yeah, I
child.
forgot. Like he's having another kid now. Like God, like he's just.
Wait, Matt Hardy's having another kid?
Yeah, they're just pumping out kids.
Hey, the pandemic. What else is there to do?
He's gonna pump out at least 8 kids.
suppose.
He's gonna put one in each promotion.
Yes.
How many? They have 3, no? They're about to have 4?
They're about to have 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They want to grow that Hardy compound.
I think it's 2
yeah.
right now. It's at the moment it's 2 boys and a girl. I'm almost certain. So we'll see what happens. If you can get another girl, you 2 and 2. Put one in each promotion. Do what you gotta do.
Snip, snip.
Or just have like a big family tag team.
There you go. He's building the next faction.
He definitely wants to start his own promotion.
Was it
with
King
his
Maxwell
children.
and what's the other guy's name? Maxwell and I forget the other one name. So that's gonna be the new Hardy Boys.
Oh, there you go.
Other than that, Pac faced Ryan Nemeth, who's aka Dolph Ziggler's brother,
Who looks like he's got cotton candy,
Underwear.
but I still think Matt Sydal looks more like Dolph Ziggler. Just so you.
Really?
Yes, look at Matt Sydal and tell me that
Now-
he does not look like
A little bit.
Dolph Ziggler. When I said this, like a lot of people, even a bunch of our fans and even Kyle, they were like, "Yeah, you're right." Like I have I swear, Matt Sydal looks more like Dolph Ziggler than Ryan does. I'm sorry.
Now I have to look at this, and
So-
I'm going to be like, probably mind blown because you're probably
Now
right.
you're never gonna unsee this now. Like
Never.
you're just not gonna unsee it.
Yep, it's stuck in my head. Every time I see him, I always think about Tiff saying that too. But speaking of Ryan Nemeth, are you guys in agreement with his nickname, the Hollywood Hunk? Is he a
No.
Hollywood Hunk?
No,
No, you guys don't think so?
No,
he does nothing for me.
Hollywood hunk. He's not a hunk. I don't know.
Not for
No
me.
sense.
I'm good.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny though
no.
between these two? The Twitter beef between Dolph and him. So
His brother.
out of this match tonight, so he loses by submission to Pac, and Pac's obviously great. We can talk about Pac all day. Great wrestler.
Husband.
Apparently Tiff's got an infatuation with him, but Pac, we say it all the time. Pac deserves a world title shot eventually, and he could be a great
Yes!
world champion.
That's what I want to take off Kenny. To be honest with you,
Eventually.
I want to see that. I want to see him with. the
Anyways,
AEW.
so the horrible screenshot came out of that submission, Tiff. I don't know if you've seen the screenshot of him locked in the submission with that horrible, unphotogenic face. Dolph Ziggler screenshotted that and made it his profile
yes.
pic. And then Ryan went and found a picture of Dolph and WWE when they did like the whole poo angle and him like getting showered with poo and put that as his profile pic. So this Twitter beat between these two,
Yeah.
amazing. And like I think the week before, or it was on Dark, and Dolph tweeted saying, "I don't even like Ryan" or something like that. And then Ryan's like, "Don't make me go tell mom."
It's fantastic. Twitter is like.
Yeah, like sometimes you get some really good gems like on Twitter, but jeez.
Do you think Dolph gets in trouble for doing that?
You probably don't. Maybe he's looking to get fired, and then he could come over to AEW too.
And they could be
He's
the,
like, I
the,
don't
the
really
Hollywood
care.
hunks, plural.
I just can't with Dolph. I'm sorry, I just can't. Okay, but anyway, this is a different podcast. But anyway,
I don't know. It's just like I
I'm
see
over
that. I'm
it.
like, okay, like I know they kind of give freedom over there, but it's always like a gray area in that company.
Yeah.
You never know what they're
Yeah.
allowed to do. But
Freedom?
I'm loving for it. I'm all for them doing all that Twitter beef. But next week, pretty good episode of Dynamite planned. They have Hangman and Hardy and Private Party. So they got Hardy Party and Hangman versus the Hybrid 2 and Chaos Project. So you never know these multiple man tag team matches. Me and Tiff say it all the time. It could go either way. It could go great or it could be horrible because they're not really consistent with their multi-man matches. So we'll see. Young Bucks against Santana and Ortiz for the tag titles. Sure to be a banger. Serena Deeb versus Riho. Again, another banger. FTR against Matt and Mike Sydal. I didn't even know he had a brother that was
I was
wrestling.
gonna say who's Mike.
Mike, if you look at the picture, he looks like the biggest stoner I've ever seen in my entire life. He looks like he's one of those out
Really?
there guys. But Matt has a
No.
brother named Mike, so Matt and Mike Seidel against FTR next week. We'll see. And then Sting's gonna call out Team Taz, Tiff's favorite segment of the night.
With a bunch of snow.
With a bunch of snow. There's sure to be a blizzard next week in Jacksonville. No matter how hot or cold it is, it will be a blizzard.
God. Help
They can
me.
take all of ours.
Yes, we're gonna it's gonna be like the jar. We're gonna set up the jar. You guys can, make your bets to see how much Tony Khan spends on snow.
I say it all the time, like Jacksonville, they're all down there like shivering with the heaters and stuff. I'm like, come up to see us.
Yeah,
Go to the
come up
eastern seaboard there, or come to Canada. We'll show you
Yup.
what cold is.
Yup.
Sitting there freezing when it's
They're
like
mocking us.
it's like 15 degrees, like okay, Celsius. I don't know what it is Fahrenheit, but like, God, I suck with the conversion. Tiff, you're gonna look it up. What's 15 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit? Because they think that's cold. Like they're shivering when it's that cold down there. And I know because it's usually really hot every other day there. What is it?
Celsius, Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit?
No,
to
15
Celsius?
Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay, 15.
I know you guys are weird down there.
Sorry, I don't know your stuff. 59.
59. So they think 59 is cold.
That's
Yeah.
not cold. Come over
That's
here.
not
We go
cold.
into single
Come
digits.
over here.
I'm walking here,
walking
okay?
here.
Like, I'm walking here.
I always make fun of Tiff's New York accent. When I came to visit her,
Who the fuck says that in New York? Walking here. Like, he
I do.
really thinks that
That's like
you're
a
not from
Staten
New York.
Island thing, no, right? Like,
No, I don't. It's not a New York thing. Who the fuck says that?
So-
Nobody.
so I came to visit Tiff. Was it 2019 WrestleMania weekend? We went to G1 and all that stuff and Takeover. And every time we were out in public walking, I was like, I'm walking here.
Who says that?
I
like,
do.
like, yeah, you weirdo.
Where
Like,
did that come from, though?
I
Like,
don't
It's a
know. Like,
stereotype.
how
How
they-
is that New York
I
accent?
love that, like that people think that, especially like Kyle, like he thinks like that New Yorkers are like the worst, and New Yorkers are this, and New Yorkers say things like
I
that.
don't think you're
just,
the
like, most
worst.
craziest thing. Well, I've heard like, oh, you have to put money in your sock because someone's gonna steal it from you. Like what? Like
Ew. That's gross. You go to a store, you pull that out, and it's like all sweaty. Like, yeah.
like, no, like, no, like,
Anyways, yeah, well, that was a good weekend. But hopefully in the future we do get to do more stuff together because obviously pandemic sucks. And it was cool. Like, I remember, like, Full Gear was such a good weekend, too, when we went down, even though, like, Baltimore's a scary place. Other than that, the weekend was fun. Staying in the hotel the wrestlers were at was cool, Tiff. And, like, going to StarCast and doing all that stuff and experiencing the pay-per-view. It was just, it's awesome. And
Yeah.
I hope eventually, like, when this all comes, we get out back to normal, we get to do that again. But, other than that, that's it for Dynamite. It's going to be an exciting episode next week, as always. That is your AEW, basically everything review. We are here with Maria Rose. Thank you, Maria, for coming on today. You are a gem.
For having me.
Hopefully,
lot of fun.
MJF treats you well in the future, too. Hopefully, gives you a nice little shout-out, maybe. Maybe sends you a V-Day
doesn't know I
card. Maybe there's
exist.
a V-Day card in the mail for you
yeah,
coming in.
I'm still waiting for mine.
For me or MJF?
Anybody
Okay.
from Trent, husband, or
He
Pac,
said for anybody.
anybody.
I'll send you a virtual one.
Send him
Aww.
in.
Yeah.
Yay.
And a what?
I heart you.
Oh, God. Yikes.
I didn't think I could do. Oh, I did it.
I don't know. Can I do that? I'm not even going to try that. I don't like my hands. Nope, not happening. Anywho, Rihu. That is going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in live. If you're watching live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, or Twitter, thank you for tuning in live. If you're coming back to watch back the YouTube version, thank you for watching back. If you're an audio podcast downloader, thank you very much for downloading the episode each and every single week. You guys mean the world to us, so thank you very much for doing so. It helps me and Tiff continue on and do this podcast and include third guests and, keep on grinding each and every single Thursday night here on YouTube and everywhere else. So thank you very much for listening. Leave us down your comments too after on YouTube. If you guys have any suggestions, make sure you're subscribing to our Patreon page. I totally forgot about that, Tiff. Our No Holds Barred Network Patreon page. We have a lot of cool content on there. Me and Tiff do a podcast on there called Free For All. I don't know if Maria would ever want to join us on there. You see a different side to me and Tiff. We don't talk wrestling. We talk about everything from pop culture to...
I would love to
Yeah.
join you on there.
We're gonna
Yes.
make it
We'll
happen.
get you on there. We talk about everything, like the The last
The
episode we
weirdness
had
comes.
Tiff's indie friend Casey Catal on, and it was so much fun. We just talked about random stuff. We talked about her creepy DMs. We talked about
Oh my God, let's go.
Yes, Maria is like me, where she is like another queen like me that gets like the million wacko messages. And like Kyle heard me earlier. I mean, Kyle were playing Fortnite earlier, and what did the guy fucking say to me?
I was like, I hope you're mine eventually.
No, what the
Something like
hell
that.
did he say to me? He was like, "Do I even have a chance?" or some
That's
shit.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you open a message like that?
Anywho, subscribe to the Patreon page. Again, $1, just $1 a month. You get all that content. You get those podcast content. I put gaming content on there. Me and Tiff are working on a coffee podcast that we used to do back in the day, which
Yes.
me and Tiff will order a bunch of different flavored K-Cups from around the world and try them live on a video podcast. It's had great success in the past. We had rave reviews for it, so we're going to bring it back to the Patreon page. So make sure you guys are subscribing. Patreon.com/NoHoldsBarred Network to check it out and to check out the Free For All podcast. So again, we're going to have Maria now on for that future podcast whenever that happens. So make sure you are subscribed.
Please.
Other than that, that's going to do it, guys. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host as always. I am Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She's EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany, and that's Maria Rose. Thank you for coming on, Maria. Make sure you guys go follow her. Follow her on Twitter. I put the Twitter link down in the description below on YouTube. It'll be on Twitter as well, so make sure you go over to the Twitter account. Follow us at All Elite Pod. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Instagram. Again, all links. YouTube description below. It's all there for you guys. The link tree's there. We'll see you guys here right back here next week on Thursday night live on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Facebook, everywhere for the next episode of the All Elite Podcast. Take it easy.
With me, I'm self-fulfilling prophecies. Fight for what I just can't keep. Times justified to feel